As long as the obsessed compulsive gamer, the O.C.G playing more of Days Gone. Going to the second camp. Which is when you actually start getting some good weapons. Because that's what they specialize in, pretty much. Even though, like, morally speaking, the second camp is the most fucked. I don't even like the camp owners. She sucks. She has, like, almost like a slave camp. It's fucked up. Oh shit, they're being attacked.
One of the camps can use this.
Gate, someone's here.
Yeah.
Hey, look, someone's here.
Better than nothing. Fix this. That should do it.
It's one of the biker boys. Let him in.
Where's Tucker? Alki.
Over at the dig site?
Well, which one, goddammit?
The north one. Back there.
If anybody touches this bike, or anything on it, I break your fingers.
Whatever, man. Jesus.
Well, I mean, he just had his bike stolen and looted, so he's probably pretty sensitive right now.
I keep telling you. Everywhere you look, it's all one giant lava field. 25 feet solid rock. It'll take jackhammers to...
I don't need a lecture, goddammit. I get it.
No, you don't. But these people are hungry. Even if they had all their strength. It'll take them months to finish this job with picks and shovels.
I don't give a shit. We're all hungry, Al. But this job's gotta get done whether it takes all goddamn year. It's not like we got somewhere else to be now, do we?
Wait. Not finished.
We'll make it quick, will ya, Al? I got things to do.
Rippers. This morning, one of my men spotted a large group of them coming over the pass.
And no one stopped them?
How the Tucker, you know we're already spread thin.
Are they headed north? Al, are they headed towards us? Yes or no?
I don't know. Maybe he knows. What the fuck are you up to now, huh? What's this about, huh?
Damn it, Alki. It's not his job to know. It's your goddamn job to know.
I can't be at two places at one time. You either want me here, running your dig, or you want me out there in the shit, chasing the Rippers.
Go check the store, see how much ammo we got left. I'll tell Wheeler to watch the dig.
What are you looking at?
I don't know, just waiting for you to smarten the fuck up.
Don't! Did you track down Leon? Good thing someone around here knows how to make things happen. Ride with me.
Yeah, that's right. She has a fucking golf cart. Forget about that.
How long's it been since you found someone, brought him in?
The kind of people left out in the shit aren't the kind of people you want me bringing in.
We lost 2 more to the fever.
It's not my problem.
You want our food? I'm making it your problem.
I told you we'll do runs for you, but we're not joining your goddamn camp.
Remind me again, my old woman's memory. Why is that?
Because it's a waste of time, Tuck.
Well, aren't you the optimist? Where's Boozer?
He said he was gonna head over to Copeland's camp, see about trading for some fish.
You're not in bed with Cope now, are you? His camp near yours?
It's not closer or further. Look, I'm not Boozer's old lady. He goes where he wants. Jesus. You keep this shit burning all day and night.
Got a lot of freak corpses piling up out here. With men like you doing your jobs. Damn right we keep it burning.
Try using more gasoline. Burns faster, less fumes.
Like we got so much to spare? When it's all gone, what are you gonna put in that bike of yours? Spit and sweat? Now what the hell is going on here?
The count's off. Storage is missing food and some ammo.
Jesus. Who was on watch last night?
Wheeler,
Tonight, double the watch. This shit's starting to piss me off.
you got it.
Trouble in paradise.
It's like I was saying. Camp's like a prison. Bunch of goddamn lazy liars, thieves, rapists, and murderers. You know why that is?
No idea.
'Cause that's who we are. The freak show. Only folks survived were those mean enough, nasty enough to out-freak the freaks. The rest are here. Hoping I feed them, protect them, keep them nice and cozy and warm, so they can sit on their asses and watch the world end. You! Get your ass back to work. Don't make me go get Cyrus. Lazy sons of bitches can screw around all they like on their time. Daytime is my time. Running this camp is no different than running a prison.
I can't remember what you said. You were what? You were... a warden or something?
Nothing so high and mighty. I was matron of the women's ward. You look like the sort who might have spent some time in the pen. Back in the day. You ever do time?
I had my share of trouble, but I never landed in K-State.
I got a job for you. Larson was on a run yesterday. Passed through Marion Fork, said he saw someone. Young woman looked like. But he only caught a glance. He stopped to look around, but he never found her.
Is he sure?
Larson's been doing this long as you. He knows a person from a freak. But you got a knack for this. You head over there and find her before the freaks do.
I'll see what I can do. But look, Tuck, I want the rest of my credits. For Leon.
What the hell?
You bring me
back to
warm
work.
bodies, I'll give you all the
back.
credits you
No,
can
no,
spend.
don't. I'm getting to work. God damn it!
I gotta go find Wheeler.
Don't!
Someone's looking at a night in the shack.
Okay, I have to find Alki.
Alki. What do you want, Drifter? What's your problem? One of my men escaped a Ripper camp over by Iron Butte. Got tortured, like they always do. But this time they kept asking me if you knew about it. 2 bikers, 2 men, asking me if you'd ever seen them or heard of them.
A lot of bikes around here. What's it got to do with me?
The Ripper called them mongrels. How many drifters still flying colors around here? As if that shit matters. If you ask me, you got a price on your head. How's it feel to be on the other side?
Now, why don't you just show me what you got, because I don't have time for your bullshit.
Whatever you say, Deke.
Yeah, he's the first weapon salesman. This is my first chance to actually get better weapons. A repeater.
Anything else? Yeah, all right. I'll be here.
Now I just gotta figure out who I'm gonna give this to.
Ah, fuck. Let's bring the drug stash to Copeland.
We can't head north until I get this bike fixed up. Copeland it is.
Also, I fucking love it when games let you, ride bikes and shit around in camp.
It's like Boozer says.
Sorry, I'm just real gassy. And I'm gonna rest again. I always try to get it, you know, you don't want to be out at night. Try to get it to it's morning.
Oh, I'm just gonna close my eyes for a bit.
That way I have the maximum amount of time before stuff gets fucked up. Don't wanna close my eyes. I just wanna fall asleep. Yeah, I'm getting the lyrics wrong.
I was ready to go back at it.
Hey, how's it going? Man, this game is beautiful. This game is really held up visually. Also, you know, if it's done right, temporal upsampling and upscaling, honestly, oh yeah, how's it going? Oh, I died, for the love of fuck. Oh well, if it's done right, man, temporal upscaling basically makes the argument for resolution non-existent. Because, you know, like, that's one thing I will say, is the PS4 Pro was a bit of a lie, because they promised it as a 4K, like, system, and almost in, like, no case ever did it ever fucking deliver 4K. Like, the PS4 Pro was basically the 1440p machine. So, I mean, yeah, it was a nice upgrade over PS4, but they promised it as a 4K machine, it did not fucking deliver. But Sony was so good with the fucking upscaling that a lot of the time you couldn't tell. And Days Gone is one of those games. Technically speaking, Days Gone never got anywhere near close to 4K, but they were so good. They were so good with the up-resing on Days Gone that it honestly looked very, very fucking close to actual 4K. You have to tell. Like, you have to be, like, neck and neck to tell. I mean, they were really good at it. And so was Horizon Zero Dawn. So for all intents and purposes, it looks really good.
Tucker, I hear you. St. John out.
And that's, you know, that's one of the things that makes this really good because they upgraded Days Gone for PS5. It was actually one of the games they upgraded at launch. It was at launch they upgraded Ghost of Tsushima and Days Gone to 60. So when you take the 60 FPS, along with the fact that it looks almost indistinguishable from 4K, that you have to have a magnifying glass. Yeah, exactly. On PS5, this game is pretty much legit 4K 60.
I know you've been doing runs for the camp. I just want to say that.
Who cares if it's actually 4K, if it's so close it's almost impossible to tell the difference?
Deacon St. John, this is Tucker. Like I said before, I haven't seen your sweet face around these last few days.
Yeah. If you play this on PS5, it's basically 4K 60 FPS, and it looks really good.
Sure he's alright?
That's how good the dynamic up-resing is. Like, if you look really closely, you can see a little bit of pixelization, but I'm saying, if you showed an ordinary person, or an ordinary gamer this and said it's 4K, they almost wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So it pretty much is 4K 60. And this game is really pretty, and it holds up very well, so... It's a fucking shame. It looks like we're never gonna get a sequel to this. And it was a super big L from Sony too. Because this game sold well. Not well enough to like blow up the world, but this game sold well enough to make a good profit, like a good in the green. And there's a huge amount of people that love this game, but Sony basically passed on this game because the critics didn't do it well. Apparently, Sony really cares what critics say. And the fact that this got middling reviews actually hurt this game more for Sony than if they had just, if it had sold poorly. And it's kind of weird too, because Sony has greenlit games, sequels that sold to games that sold poorly because they reviewed well. And then games like Days Gone that made money, they've canceled. And honestly, I gotta be straight up with you. I've stopped caring what critics had to say about games. Number one, I feel like people should make up their own mind. And number two, a lot of games journalists fucking suck now. So, like, making a sequel to this game should have been a no fucking brainer. It sold well, people loved it. If the game made money and people really liked it, who the fuck cares if game critics didn't? Yeah, exactly. After all, who are you going to care about more? The people who play your game, buy the game out of their own pocket, put hundreds of hours in your game, buy your DLC, go to your midnight launch, or the people who are paid to fucking play the game and are literally given a free copy to do so? You'd think the fans would be more important. But now, no. Instead, it's not. We no longer see, hey guys, do you think this game is going to be great? What are your predictions for this game? Do you think it's going to be good? It's now, what are your predictions for the Metacritic of this game? And watching people talk about the Metacritic, it's like watching people take gambling on fucking horses. It's fucking weird.
Drifter, open up. What do you want?
You got something to say? Hey, Cope. I think Leon was bringing you this.
Deke. You made a wise choice. Wise choice. You go see Manny. Maybe he can help you with that bike of yours.
Cope says you've been helping out around.
I know, I mean,
Found the kid.
it wasn't perfect. This game's far from perfect. Okay, it had problems. This was the first Sony game to use an Unreal Engine, so they had problems getting it to work on Unreal 4. Unreal 4 is also notoriously bad. Yeah, exactly. It's so weird. Almost the entire, like, Unreal 4 sucks at making open world games. Like, really badly. That's, Unreal 4's Achilles heel. They literally had to redesign Unreal 5 from the ground up to make it so that it worked open world, because, it was notoriously difficult. So they had some adjustment getting this to work for an open world. It had some glitches at launch, nothing unplayable. I mean, I played this at launch, and it was great. It had some problems, but it wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't like, oh my god, I shouldn't have released this. So, but yeah, people will tout a review score for a game.
Hey, man.
Way too much. Hey, IGN said this game is good, so it must be. Bro, I don't trust a thing that fucking IGN says. Period. Sorry. IGN sucks. They're almost as bad as Kotaku. Pretty much the only video game company or games journalist that I actually respected was Game Informer. And even they have gone to shit. I used to get Game Informer magazine. I used to read that shit religiously. They used to have real journalism. They got exclusives. They would give paces. Now they just suck. They're just clickbaity. Either way.
All right. Okay.
It's kind of baffling to me that Sony is like a big game company, and they see this game making a bunch of money, and not for the record, I just want to make this clear, okay? I want you to understand this. Days Gone sold better at launch than God of War 2018. Okay? God of War 2018 did really well. So while we don't have exact sales figures for this game, Sony doesn't give a lot of their sales figures unless they're ridiculously high. This game did better than God of War. So this game made them a fucking tasty profit. And people love this game. To this day, I hear people saying, give me Days Gone 2, give me Days Gone 2, give me Days Gone 2. So it made a ton of money, and people love it. Like, a sequel should be a no-brainer, but because some asshole on IGN gave the game a 7, oh, nope, no sequel for you. That's so frustrating to me. Yeah, they think it's a failure.
So, a couple months ago, we were up by Crazy
And it pisses me off because they actually revealed some of the stuff that they had in mind for Days Gone 2, because they were in the middle. They were in the middle of making Days Gone 2, by the way, when it was canceled. It wasn't like it never got off the ground. They were literally in the middle of making Days Gone 2 and got canceled midway through production. So they put a lot of work into the sequel. They revealed that the map was going to be twice the size, so really big, and that it was going to have co-op. You could play through it single player, or you could do it co-op, and I'm assuming you play Boozer.
Jesus, Deke. You hear what's happening? Black choppers. The feds are still flying. Can you believe that shit?
Wait, what?
That's fucking awesome.
No, Cope won't shut up about it. He says it proves what he has been saying from the start, that the feds are behind this whole mess. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All that conspiracy shit. You think he's right?
Copeland right about anything?
I mean, no. I mean, like I said, it's important to note that the co-op would have been optional. It wouldn't have been a co-op game. It just would have been something you could do with your friends. So it still would have been single player. But even having that option to, team up with Boozer and ride bikes would have been fucking amazing. And, we're this game is in Oregon. We don't even see all of Oregon. This is a very, center chunk of Oregon. They were right. They started small. I would have loved to have seen this game's version of Portland. Portland is one of the biggest cities in the world. It's a beloved city. I would have loved to see it get all fucked up with freakers and be able to explore a big city because they didn't have any, like, you know, real big settlements. So, you know, and on top of that, it sucks because this game does not end with a resolved storyline. This game ends with a massive fucking cliffhanger. And it's so painful to see a game you like have its story never get resolved, ever. It's almost unlikely we will ever see a continuation to this game.
No. But listen,
So the story is never finished.
If you see a black chopper, a Nero helicopter, you let me know, okay?
Yeah, sure, Deke. Whatever you say. Got it. Hey.
I didn't think I'd see you around so much.
What's going on?
You looking for something?
I might get that. Fuck, I want nitro so bad. Tire 1, yes.
I'll wrap that up for you. Oh yeah, that's a good piece. Cool. Need anything else?
Can I, like, yeah, let me refill.
You don't want to run out of fuel in the ship, that's for sure.
And this game did, like, crazy good stuff visually, man. These people knew how to use it, like, one of the hardest things, yes, exactly. One of the hardest things, one of the hardest things to do in a game is, especially on a world game, is draw distance. And especially, one of the hardest things to do, draw distance, is trees. Trees are very tiny. They are a bitch to render over distance. And that's why one of the biggest things you'll see popping in a game is fucking trees and stuff like that. And I remember, you know, you get to the third region, the Lost Lake camp, and that's a whole, like, alpine forest, and I was amazed, and I still am, at how great the fucking trees look like from a distance.
You gonna buy anything?
Because
Good choice, man. Good choice.
the trees,
Be up if you need anything else.
the whole area is forested. You would really fucking notice
Thanks, man.
if the trees were popping in. Yes, exactly. And yet they pulled it off. I mean, fucking hardcore pulled it off, dude. Like, I remember being amazed by the trees in that region because the trees look as good at a distance as when you're up on them. Like, they were pulling some crazy fucking programming magic doing that.
Hold on, I'll get
Like, obviously, they weren't as high quality as when you're right up on them, but I mean, it was fucking almost imperceptible. I love that region. I love Iron Mike. That's, I believe, when you get to Lost Lake camp is when the game starts to really pick up. And to this day, this game has one of the best weather simulators I've ever seen because the Lost Lake camp and I think the Highway 77 region, you know, that's when, like, they can snow at any time and it changes the terrain in real time. I remember the first time I saw that, I was playing the game and I was in the Lost Lake region and it started snowing and the entire region became snow covered as I was playing the game fucking seamlessly. I was like, holy shit, that's fucking cool. I have yet to see another game, open world game, switch weather on the fly like that and have a snowstorm roll in and coat the area. And I mean, it totally changes the aesthetic of the region. It's not like, oh, you know, it looks slightly different. Like, it's literally like having the seasons change and fucking roll up, just boom. I was like, man, that's fucking awesome.
Remember what I said back in the tunnel? Don't go out there, Deke. It's making you crazy.
Boozer, okay, look. I go
Yeah,
out there,
exactly.
there's freaks out there. I kill them here, I kill them there. Bounties are all the same.
Then what are the tulips for? I saw them, Deke. Here on the table. This morning. The same one she had at the wedding. I remember.
Bucking up. Listen, Boozer, get some rest. I gotta go. Deacon out. Two of those boots are the stone crop. Get it right.
You know? And it pains me because it's kind of like Sony will like give people, other companies, like a pass to like reiterate on the game and get it correct, and not Days Gone, because like there's tons of Sony series that I could point out that I think the first game was kind of and then the second game was like 1,000 times better. Infamous. I like Infamous 1, but I think Infamous 1 was really flawed. I think that the jumping quality from Infamous 1 to Infamous 2 is fucking insane. Everything from the graphics to the story to the presentation to the powers to the world design. I thought the map in Infamous 1 was generic as shit. It was just yet another... hold on one second. I gotta let my... Come on, Nico. Yeah. Uncharted? Uncharted is fucking one of Sony's flagship franchises. And the first Uncharted game was really rough. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a bad game. I like Uncharted. But the gap in quality between Uncharted 1 and the rest of the series is fucking, like a night, you know, huge. And like for most people, they just have to basically fucking suffer through Uncharted 1 to get to the good shit. Uncharted 2, 3, 4. So... even Horizon. Don't get me wrong, I like Zero Dawn. I think Zero Dawn's a good game. But people who think Zero Dawn was perfect, dude, Zero Dawn was rough as fuck around the edges. The melee combat in Zero Dawn was fucking atrocious, which thankfully the game didn't focus on it. Yes, exactly. The parkour in the Zero Dawn was wonky as fuck, and I remember countless times dying from making a jump and being so frustrated by the asinine restrictions on where you could and couldn't fucking parkour. Okay? Even the story. I think the story of Zero Dawn gets really good. But I think it takes a long time for the story of Zero Dawn to pick up. A fucking dilly-dallies. Once they actually get to the actual Zero Dawn, it's great. But look at Forbidden West. The gulf in quality between Zero Dawn and Forbidden West is fucking astronomical. Yes, exactly. Like, it's not like a little bit better. I mean, it's so much better. Even God of War. Okay? I played all the God of War games. I have platinumed every God of War game ever. I'm sorry, I platinumed most of them. I haven't done God of War 2018. I was like one trophy short, and I haven't done Ascension. But I platinumed God of War 2, God of War 3, Chains of Olympus, Ghost of Sparta, and Ragnarok, funnily enough, okay? So I've platinumed almost all of the God of War games. I literally got 100% completion on Ragnarok, okay? God of War 1 was good, but God of War 1 was also rough around the edges. And had some truly awful sequences, like the fucking... man. Fucking Bandit Rippers trying to get me. Like the fucking Hades wheel is infamous for being one of the worst platforming sequences in a fucking game. That thing sucks. Even the developers apologize for how fucking shit that was. Okay? So there's like so many examples that I could give you just off the top of my head of Sony having a first game have problems, be good but rough around the edges, you know, like a diamond in the rough, and then the sequel doing what a sequel should and sanding it down, okay? And Days Gone was the same way. Days Gone is a great game, but it was made by a studio that had never done an open world game before. Up until this game, Sony Bend had exclusively done handheld games. They did the PSP Siphon Filter games. So they went from doing a linear PSP game to an open world PS4 game. They had never fucking done anything like this. So yeah, there was a learning curve. And this game is crazy ambitious. What they did with the Freakers, having up to 1,000 of them in an open world, I've yet to see a game do hordes of zombies like this in an open world. Ever. So, I'm saying the fucking potential was there for them to go back and fix it the way that Sony has proven they could have fixed it. And it's such a shame that they will never get that chance. You know, like, I feel like it's just good business, right? If a game does well and people like it, you should greenlight a sequel. Unless, of course, you know, like, the development of the team has decided that they're done. Like, the current rumors that Uncharted 5 won't be developed by Naughty Dog, but I'm okay with that because Naughty Dog straight up said with 4, we're done after this. Like, there are times when you can just say, we're done, and move on. And it's better to move on from a series and end it on a high note than just drag it out until people beg you to stop. How many fucking television shows started out great and then went to shit because they could never leave well enough alone, and they ran it past when it should have ended? So, you know, I absolutely applaud them because they decided they were going to do one more, and Uncharted 4 was fucking amazing. If they were going to end Nathan Drake's story, I can't think of a better way they could have done it. But, you know, generally speaking, if the team wants to make it, if it made money, if people liked it, it seems like making a sequel should be a no-brainer. Fuck the reviews. It made money. Our fans liked it. End of story. The team wants to make more. Like, it's not rocket science. And meanwhile, we get tons of sequels that are barely fucking trying. Like Pokemon, the recent Pokemon games have been ass. That look like they were made in a fucking Vietnamese sweatshop for PS2, and they run at like 15 frames a second. They look bad by Switch standards, and you know, considering Switch is like 2 generations behind, that's saying something. And then we get, you know, an infinite amount of Call of Duty games that are just creatively fucking bankrupt. And you know, it's one of those situations where people are constantly bitching about Call of Duty sucking. Call of Duty fell off. Call of Duty isn't like the old days. I miss Black Ops. Well, you still buy the fucking games day one, don't you? Here's a fun fact. Despite most people saying that Call of Duty is well past its heyday, Call of Duty is so shitty now, Call of Duty's this, Call of Duty's that, every fucking year since like 2008, when Modern Warfare launched, every year, except for the years that a Rockstar game launched, Call of Duty has been the best-selling game of the year it was in. The only time in the last like 12, 14 years since Modern Warfare 1, the original Modern Warfare, that a Call of Duty game has not been the number one selling game of the year was in 2013 when GTA 5 launched, and in 2018 when Red Dead Redemption 2 launched. Okay, so all these people bitching about how much Call of Duty sucks, about how all that, they're still obviously fucking buying it day one. All these people bitching about Pokemon looking like ass, which is a fair complaint. You still fucking bought it at day one. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet look fucking terrible. And you know what? Graphics aren't everything, okay? But number one, Pokemon is the highest grossing franchise in the world. That's not a joke, by the way. Pokemon, if you count the anime, the mangas, all that stuff, makes more money than any property in the world. So they have enough money to make a good-looking Pokemon game. Number two, it's like they're not even fucking trying. Like, I remember the first time that I saw, like, screenshots for Scarlet and Violet, and I'm like, this cannot be a finished game that Nintendo is releasing. What the fuck? It looks like we got like the fucking alpha of a Pokemon game. And the gameplay is just the same old tired shit. Pokemon is like, and yet still, despite fans lamenting it, despite it running like shit, despite it looking like shit, it still sold 15 million copies. 15 million copies. Holy shit.
Son of a bitch!
Biker boys.
And you know, I can at least say that I put my money where my mouth is. I said, this sucks. You know, I used to be a diehard Pokemon fan. Hand to God, dude. I used to play all the Pokemon games. I straight up said, I had the money to buy Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I said, no fucking way. I refused. I have not bought it. I will not buy it until it comes on sale, heavily discounted. And this is Nintendo, so we know it never fucking will. The fucking Earth will explode and hell will freeze over before Nintendo puts one of their new games, one of their main games, on sale. It's atrocious. They, like, Sony will put their fucking games on sale. Microsoft will. Like, Activision, EA, they're greedy as fuck, but they recognize what a good sale can do for your brand. Here, Echo, you gotta get up, honey. I love you, but you hurt my leg. You can get back on later. But nope, not Nintendo. Hell, Nintendo. Okay. Well, it's been nice talking to you, man.
For your bike?
What do you want?
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna end the stream.